the tight end position, which the sure things, no question about it. Gronk could be. I think right now could rival to be the greatest tight end in the history of the game. You know, like when you look at what he does and when he's healthy, he's a beast. Jimmy Graham of Seattle, what an addition for the Seahawks, and it definitely upgrades. It's like an upgrade for his career as well. That offense, and then Greg Olsen with the Carolina Panthers, of course, receiving balls from Cam Newton. Now your breakouts: Travis Kelsey from the Kansas City Chiefs, Jordan Cameron from the Miami Dolphins, and Tyler Eifert from the Cincinnati Bengals. Talk about those three guys in real quickly.
Tyler Eifert was a first round pick 2 years ago,
Notre Dame.
and and he's been injured a lot. So, and some of these tight ends go through these injury issues, like Kyle Rudolph,
Yeah, another Notre
another
Dame guy.
yep, another Domer. Um, Gronk has had injury issues. I mean, they're big physical beasts, and they play a violent position. They got to block, they got to take hits when they catch the football over the middle.
Right.
These guys get hurt a lot. But Tyler Eifert, look, he's in a great position right now. He's healthy. There's no Jermaine Gresham there. Lots of opportunity. Could be their number two option in the passing game behind AJ Green. Jordan Cameron, another tight end that gets hurt a lot, but he's got incredible athleticism. He's a former basketball player at USC. We've seen him
Mm-hmm.
light it up before statistically, and he went to a really good situation there in Miami. I think Tannehill is going to love him.
Oh wow, yeah, and yeah, that's for sure. And Tannehill is improving more and more, especially throwing in the middle of the field for sure. So and now disappointments. Julius Thomas, Jacksonville. We know that with the lack of weapons around him, we definitely see that there's going to be a descent in his stats.
Well, it's just that Nabaté, like he has 24 touchdowns over his last 27 games.
Mm-hmm.
His fantasy value to this point in his career has been almost entirely derived from catching touchdowns from Peyton Manning. So now he's going from Peyton Manning to Blake Bortles, and maybe he'll make up for it a little bit because they just don't have a whole lot else to throw to. They do have Allen Robinson, but other than that, they don't have a whole lot else to throw to.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he'll get a ton of targets, but he's never been that type of player. He's been a red zone dominator, and the Jaguars were in the red zone the least of any NFL team last year.
Yep.
So he's not going to score TDs, and maybe he'll catch 80 balls, but he's never been that type of guy before.
Right, right, and then Zach Ertz of the Philadelphia Eagles. Talk about him because it seems like he's just not a fit for a Chip Kelly system.
I think that he's a really good player, but they love Brent Selleck and Brent
Mm-hmm.
Selleck, and they love three receiver sets. That's their base offense. That they use three receiver sets. They very rarely put Selleck and Ertz on the field together.
Right.
So and last year Ertz only played 50% of the snaps, and he was really frustrating in fantasy. And I don't know if he's even getting the opportunity to beat out Selleck, who last year, I mean, he's the best run blocking tight end in football. Brent
Mm-hmm.
Selleck is.
Mm-hmm.
So they have every reason to keep him on the field, and they don't use those guys together. So what Zach Ertz would have to do is beat out Brent Selleck, but I don't even think it's a competition. I think that Ertz is just going to be a sub package player who comes in, mixes in on some passing downs, and he's a rotational player in their offense.
Right. Wow. And then Austin Safarian Jenkins, is someone that, definitely he may not have that production because those wideouts of Vincent Jackson and Mike Evans, are that good for sure. And now Rob Hausler, real quick for the Cleveland Browns, looks like they don't have really much to throw to anyway, so he should be a solid target this year.
Yeah, no, that's the whole reasoning behind him having him as a deep sleeper is because you're competing for targets with and the offensive coordinator's play calls with Dwayne Bowe and Taylor Gabriel. So that's it, man. Rob Hausler is big. and he ran 4.55 coming out of Florida Atlantic, which was great for a tight end. It's just all about opportunity, and there's a chance that he does nothing, which is something that he's done to this point in his career. He's done nothing, but I think that he is, he's got a shot.